إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا أما بعد. I welcome all of you. أرحب بكم جميعا أيها الأحبة ونواصل هذه الدروس. I welcome all of you. We continue بإذن الله تعالى these classes in this blessed month of Ramadan through the speaker of our noble brothers in Masjid ibad-ur-rahman in Marietta, Georgia. Jazakumullah khairan for alhamdulillah promoting these classes. May Allah reward them. Ameen. Insha'Allah ta'ala we continue reading from this about the zakat actually. As for last night we talked about the zakat, the ruling on zakat. It's one of the pillars of Islam. Also, it talks about the zakat, the four things where zakat is due, like and also the nisab. Now we're going to talk about the people, those who are entitled to receive the zakat, the recipients of the zakat. Shaykh al-Uthaymeen rahimahullah ta'ala, he began by mentioning an ayah, the ayah 60 of Surah At-Tawbah. This is the ayah actually that mentioned the 8 categories of recipients of zakat. قال الله تعالى إنما الصدقات للفقراء والمساكين والعاملين عليها والمؤلفة قلوبهم وفي الرقاب والغارمين وفي سبيل الله وابن السبيل فريضة من الله والله عليم حكيم. Sadaqat, in here the zakat, the obligatory zakat, is to be given only for the poor, the needy, fuqara wal masakin, and those employed to collect the funds and in order to attract the hearts of those who have been inclined towards Islam, also in order to free the slaves, and it is for those in debt to pay their debt, to help them to pay their debt, and for the sake of Allah, for jihad, for the cause of Allah, and for the wayfarer who was cut off from everything. This is a duty imposed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah is all-knower, the all-wise. Shaykh al-Uthaymeen rahimahullah says in this verse of Surah At-Tawbah, remember once again, this is ayah 60 of Surah number 9, Surah At-Tawbah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned the recipients of zakat and how the zakat should be dispensed. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned clearly those who deserve to receive it. And all of this, the Shaykh al-Uthaymeen says, is based on Allah's knowledge, wisdom, justice, and mercy. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has restricted the zakat to these 8 categories of people. There are 8 of them. And so therefore the zakat is to be given to these categories. Therefore, it is not permissible to go beyond this, meaning to spend and to give the zakat in venues other than these 8 categories mentioned in this ayah, number 60 of Surah At-Tawbah. And the Shaykh says, Shaykh al-Uthaymeen says, that is because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He knows what's best for His slaves. Okay? And Allah is the most and the all-wise. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala places things in their proper places. Amen. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Surah Al-Ma'idah verse number 50, أَفَحُكْمَ الْجَاهِلِيَّةِ يَبْغُونَ وَمَنْ أَحْسَنُ مِنَ اللَّهِ حُكْمًا لِقَوْمٍ يُوقِنُونَ. Is it the ruling of the Jahiliyyah that they want and they seek and they want to apply? And who is better in judgment than Allah for a people who have firm faith? Then the Shaykh, he mentioned, rahimahullah, this, he began to mention the description and the definition on each of these categories. He began by the first and the second categories of these 8 mentioned in the ayah of Surah At-Tawbah. Al-Fuqara wal-Masakin. And Imam Al-Tabarani, before to read what the Shaykh Ibn Uthaymeen says, Imam Al-Tabari in his tafsir, he says that he mentioned who are the fuqara and who are the masakin, and from that he mentioned, he says, Al-Fuqara hum al-muhtajun al-muta'affifun alladhina la yas'aluna an-nas. He says the fuqara, the poor, are those who, yes, they're in need, but then they don't ask the people. Out of honor, they don't ask the people. They just stay home and they go by their business and they don't ask the people. والمساكين هم المحتاجون الذين يخرجون ويسألون الناس. The masakin, they are those who in need as well, but they go out and ask the people. Shaykh al-Uthaymeen says in these first and second categories, he said these are those who do not have what is sufficient for them and their families. For instance, they don't have savings. They're not saving for a whole year. They don't have a consistent job by which they have a consistent salary. And also they don't have a business. And they don't have anyone that actually taking upon themselves to give them a salary or help them out continuously. He says so these considered from the people are of need, and they deserve to be supported and to be given help and to be helped. The ulama, the scholars, they say that these people, the poor and the masakin, the fuqara and the masakin, they should be given from zakat. And how much they will be given, Shaykh al-Uthaymeen said they should be given enough to cover all of their expenses for an entire year, until the next year when the zakat is to be given as well. Okay? For a whole year, all of their expenses. Likewise, if a person who's poor and wants to get married and cannot afford to get married, he will be given from zakat as well. Likewise, a student of knowledge who doesn't have much, he's to be given, especially to buy books. And likewise, Shaykh al-Uthaymeen says, likewise, even if a person have a job and have a salary, but it's not enough to cover all of his expenses. And there are people like that. They have a job, but then they don't. It's not enough for them. These people are to be given from zakat as well. Enough to cover their needs. Because they are from those who are needy people and needs help. And then the Shaykh, after he mentioned this, he says, as for the one who is taking care of himself, alhamdulillah, he's well off and he doesn't need much. He doesn't need, so he's not in need, so it's not permissible to give such a person zakat, money, even if they ask for it. Even if they come and say, well, do you have any zakat money? No, if you know their condition, that they have, mashallah, they take care of themselves and they have enough money, then you don't give them from the zakat. And giving the zakat is a great responsibility. You don't give the zakat to the people you know or your friends, or you gotta give it to one of these categories. And if they are, you know them, alhamdulillah. If they are your friends, or even some of the family members, as we're gonna learn, that is even better. And as for now, he says, so if a person come and ask for zakat, and you know that this person is not one of these recipients, don't give it to them. Rather, you admonish them and give them a lesson, telling them that the rich or the people who are not in need, they don't supposed to ask for the zakat, and they don't supposed to receive the zakat. Abdullah ibn Umar radiallahu anhuma narrated in this hadith, Sahih al-Bukhari, that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, لا تزال المسألة بأحدكم حتى يلقى الله عز وجل وليس في وجهه مزعة لحم. One of you will continue to ask, meaning the people, and beg the people, give me this, that, until he meets Allah with a bony face without any flesh covering it. وَلَيَادُ بِاللَّهِ. Likewise, the Shaykh says, we have another hadith on the authority of Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, that the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, as in Sahih Muslim, من سأل الناس أموالهم تكثرا فإنما يسأل جمرا فليستقل أو ليستكثر. Whoever asks the people from their money only not because he's in need, he just want to make more money. Some people are like that. Oh, can you help me out? Can you give me? They go from one masjid to another, from one person to another, and you find they have a lot of money. Here the Prophet ﷺ, he said, for such people, that person is only asking for a coal of fire. وَلَيَادُ بِاللَّهِ. Therefore, how much he wants to have from the fire. The more he asks the people in this manner, the more he's getting himself in trouble. وَلَيَادُ بِاللَّهِ. Likewise, we have another narration of by Hakim ibn Hizam radiyallahu anhu, that the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, إِنَّ هَذَا الْمَالَ خَضِرَةٌ حُلْوَةٌ فمن أخذه بسخاوة نفس بورك فيه ومن أخذه بإشراف نفس لم يبارك له فيه وكان كالذي يأكل ولا يشبع واليد العليا خير من اليد السفلى رواه البخاري ومسلم رحمه الله. In this hadith, it's collected by Imam al-Bukhari and Muslim rahimahullah. Prophet ﷺ said, surely this world is sweet green, meaning is very appealing to the people, delightful, they want it. So whoever took it and while deserving it, alhamdulillah, Allah will put a blessing in it. But if someone wants it and he's big, ask the people for it, and he doesn't needs it, Allah will put no blessing in it, and he will be like the one who eats and never gets satisfied. And then the Prophet ﷺ says, the upper hand is better than the lower hand. And also, we have the hadith of ibad-ur-rahman ibn Auf radiallahu anhu, that the Prophet ﷺ said, لا يفتح عبد باب مسألة إلا فتح الله عليه باب فقر. A slave will not open a door to begin, except that Allah will open for him a door of poverty. Right by Imam, collected by Imam Ahmad rahimahullah, and Imam al-Albani graded it to be Sahih li Shawahid. Now the Shaykh, he mentioned something in a point. He said, what about if a person that you know his conditions comes and asks for zakat, you don't know exactly his conditions. However, from his appearance, it gives